Hello everybody, it's your favorite NB, Chris, and today I just got back in. It was a super exciting day for me. We got the chance, my high school got the chance to send a few students to the Dodge Poetry Festival 2016, which is held in Newark, New Jersey. And I live in the tri-state area, so we hopped on the bus and went.
Even worse, like they make totally black totally they make just go to Whole Foods. So then I think they and then the 17th is a pretty big breakfast. And she was like making her feel all bad. No. She looks like an elf. Have you ever seen that? Yesterday? No. Yesterday, I don't think there's anything wrong with the project.
And it was amazing, you know, we got to see, well, first of all, it's fall, so we got to see that nice view from the bus. I was getting a little motion sick, so I had my music in, of course. Then we got there, and it was raining on and off. So, it was raining on and off even when we were on the bus. But we got there and it was still kind of like lightly drizzling. So we grouped up, and the first place that our group headed to was North Star Academy, I think, for the first speakers. We walked in a little late because, you know, we had to stop by the bathroom first. And it was amazing. One of the speakers was a trans woman. Another was a lesbian, and the third person was just a really cool guy. I don't know what his ethnicity was, but, you know, he looked like he could be Indian. I don't know, he was definitely dark-skinned. That was great. I was like, hey. They were all poets, and they spoke, you know, about different things that go into their poetry, you know, kind of the process for writing for them sometimes too, and like where some of their poems came from, and they recited a few of them for us. It was really cool. So it was Josh, Vijay, and Robin, I believe. I'll put their names either here or in the description, but it was amazing. I was too shy to ask a question. Like, they had a Q&A, but someone else did ask a question I wanted to ask, and it was to Joss. It was like asking how to not get on yourself for making poems about like being trans, or like from the perspective of being trans. And I'm not technically like transgender in the sense of straight transgender like F to M, but I do consider myself slightly like a part transgender, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't say I am trans because I'm not. I'm non-binary, but it was similar. It was like a good feeling to see, you know, her up there. And I don't know. I just felt really empowered from the very first like thing that we went to. Had two people from the LGBT community, and I was like, ah! And they were all so nice, and they were all so funny. And I missed the guys like poems and like his speech thing. We walked in on Robin's, which is the lesbian lady, and we weren't allowed to record. Photos were held until the end. I'm sorry, I like keep messing with my face. We weren't allowed to record. Photos were held until the end, and even then we were like rushing out. I couldn't get a chance to take a photo with anybody or anything. We had to quickly get to the next venue.
Do that. I'll get it. Scoot back.
Oh, that's nice work. And the second place that we went was the Prudential Hall in NJPAC. So we went there and we watched 3 more poets, talk about their backgrounds and, poetry that influenced them and like poems that they made based on those influences. Again, it was super cool. This time we had, I forgot their names, but it was a really cool Puerto Rican guy who was really feeling it when he was reciting the poems. A southern lady who was so sweet. She was like, oh, I'm nervous, but then she went up there and killed it. And this, oh my gosh, this white guy came up, and I feel really bad because I know I was actually tired, but his voice was so soothing that I actually like fell asleep like halfway through him talking. Like he had the type of voice like it's lulling. It lulled both me and my like other people in my group to take naps during his like speech thing. And I'm sure what he said was really cool, but I couldn't pay attention. It's like those recorded like textbook or like audiobook voices that aren't interesting. It's just very like very okay, and like I can't describe it, but we fell asleep. When we woke up, it was just about over, and we headed out and we went to lunch. That was lunchtime. I did not record anything for lunch because we split up, like our group. Our group head, our teacher, stayed back in the Prudential Hall area, or like around there, and then we were supposed to meet at Trinity Church, but some emergency happened at NJPAC, so, or like at somewhere else in Dodge, I'm not sure. So everybody, like all the high schools, or I don't know, at least our high school had to gather up, and it was like almost through lunch. I want to say it was like halfway through lunch. So we had to gather up and we went back to school early. So there were 2 things that we missed, which I don't even remember what it was, but I have my schedule and I'll put them somewhere, whether in the description or under my face and or over around my face. But we went back to school. Luckily, I had bought and eaten lunch like quickly before that, but I did have to pee, so I mean, I survived. So we just got back from the Dodge Poetry Festival. We only got to go to 2 things. Cheyenne is still with me. Yee. We're at the high school now. We both had to pee, so we came back in. It got canceled because some unforeseen thing happened, and I was trying to record on the bus and when we were gathering, because we were all kind of freaking out and trying to gather and figure out what was happening, but my camera wasn't cooperating, so here I am, and here's Cheyenne looking flea. Hey. I'm a pee. We got to school, I peed, and that was that. But it was super fun, even though, it was cut in half, essentially, literally in half of lunch, and we literally only got half of it. The Dodge Poetry Festival is a biannual thing, like every 2 years, as opposed to 2 times a year, because biannual has 2 meanings. But it's every 2 years, so juniors and seniors did get preference, so I'm a junior, so I was really excited to go. It sucks that I only got half of it, and we only was going, we were, hold on, and we were only going that one day today, so, I mean, that's alright. It was a great experience anyway. I don't know when or where the next one, or I know when, 2018, but I don't know where the next one is going to be held, so if it's near me, I'll try to go again and like go to all the ones that interest me as opposed to the ones that are pre-picked by our high school. And just, it was a great time. If anybody likes poetry and, wants to go, try to go if you can. It's so amazing because something like poetry, you really see how it brings everybody together from all sorts of different backgrounds. There were even, oh, that's what we missed. We missed, like, there were going to be some talks on how poetry connects with, like, activism and identity and self-expression and, like, emotional vulnerability. And it was, like, a bunch of stuff that I actually really love about poetry and I really wanted to see. But alas, we had to come back. And it's kind of good that I came back home anyway because I had other stuff to do. But it was a great experience. I would definitely do it again. I would definitely want to see the rest of the, like, speakers and poetry that we missed. And I'd want to do it in 2018 too, if I can. But that was that. If anybody else was there and is, like, watching this to see, you know, oh, it's a vlog, you know, maybe you're in a clip. Point yourself out. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But it was so crowded and fun, and it was great. There were so many high schools there. I didn't expect it to be that full, and I didn't even research, like, any of the poets that were going to be there because I don't read poetry that often. I just watch, like, slam poetry in the off time that I have, and I admire poets. I can't speak. I admire poets so much, and I admire the art of poetry, and I love writing in my free time as well. Just occasionally I'll write a poem or two. And it was so wonderful. It was a great experience. I went in with no expectations just so that I could be blown away even more than I probably would have had I researched, right? It was great. But that's it for this video. Stay happy, stay healthy. I love you all. And I'll see you in the next video.
Yes, yes, yes.
When I go, walk out the door, I turn around now, you're not welcome anymore. Not you the one.